Feedback Friday is brought to you by ProWrestlingTees.com, your destination for all the hottest wrestling t-shirts at low prices with super fast shipping. ProWrestlingTees.com also houses the full line of PWR merchandise in the PWR shop, along with the all-new line of Macho Man and Andre the Giant t-shirts. Each week, one lucky winner will win one free tee, so stay tuned this week to find out if you are this week's winner.
Welcome, folks, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. You know, before we get into this week's Feedback Friday, we have the draft, which starts tonight with round one.
It does.
And then continues tomorrow night on primetime. And it's time for the coin flip to figure out who goes first, since neither of us won last year's draft. There's no clear person to go first.
I'm sorry? I ordered the trophy.
Did you watch the tape?
It should be here next week. It's bejeweled, bedazzled. It's freaking amazing.
You didn't win, Mr. Gore.
Yeah, I did. It's the PWR screw job. But fine, you know what? And we have our special.
Where's the coin?
No, we have the dice. We're rolling dice.
Oh, yeah. All right, that works. That's fun. I like to gamble.
If it hits PWR, you win. If it lands on the white side, I win the first pick.
Fair enough.
Do you want to shake it? Or should I?
At least I should shake it, yeah.
Yeah, well,
wait a minute.
Be careful. You have a rough
PWR is only on one side of this thing.
That's fine.
How's that fine? I have a 1 in 6 chance of winning.
If you would have paid, not the,
You know what? Screw it. Fine. You're going to cheat. You're going to start this way, and you're going to try to screw me. Then fine. We will.
You got great ball handling skills.
We will. I was on the basketball team in high school.
Well, of course you were.
In college as well.
Absolutely.
We're going to see who wins.
Whoop.
Oh, went too far.
We have another one, obviously.
See, I don't even know my own string.
Yep.
All right, you ready? You ready, David Hero?
Yeah, don't drop it and kick it out of bounds. Look at that! That means I get the first pick.
Fine, you can take the first pick. That's good. Fine.
Yes.
You still lose because you are a loser.
Well, when you get the first pick, you should win. I should win this year.
Yeah, you should, because you should. I mean, it all depends on who the rest of your team is.
So when can I
understand
draft?
we have a guest moderator for tomorrow's draft as well.
I made a few phone calls.
What do you mean you made a few phone calls? You don't book people.
I wanted to make it fair and easy. I want to make it fair. Fair and balanced.
So you know who it is?
Well, yeah. He'll be here tomorrow.
How do you know and I don't know?
Because I took care of this. I talked to Kaz. He gave me the Amex. It's all taken care of.
Round one of the draft comes later on tonight, right here on Feedback Friday.
Fish Fry Friday.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Feedback Friday. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And congratulations, Dave, because, I'm trying something new. I am going to be a good sport, as I was last week. And by the way,
yes,
I can't believe you had those kids committed.
What do you mean?
You took them to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah, because they're obviously not functioning properly.
Anyways.
It's only for 21 days.
Well, they were supposed to be on Raw Monday night.
Of course they were.
As part of the choir, because they actually sing very good, and they couldn't do that because on Sunday morning you had them committed.
Yes. Well,
you're just an evil person.
No, I just like to win.
Let's get to the comments. This show is about your feedback, ladies and gentlemen, on our episodes and on our social media channels. And as you know, PWR is the most watched wrestling talk show on YouTube with over 13 million viewers since 2006. And we welcome your comments on all of our videos. So let's get to some of those comments left on last week's episode of Primetime TV. Ivan Drago says,
if he dies, he dies.
And I quote, David and Damian, based on David Hero's prediction that Daniel Bryan's title reign will be similar to Punk's, in fact, that he may not be in every pay-per-view main event. Could you please give an explanation of the most over and wrongly used term in the internet wrestling community, buried? I am fearful of having to read in 1 out of 3 comments about how WWE is going to bury Daniel Bryan when he is not in main events. The fans that want every main event to be Bryan, Punk, Cesaro, Ziggler, and Ambrose, and they all beat Champ and they all beat Cena clean at the same time, or they are being buried. Please do a preemptive strike on these people before this happens. That from Ivan Drago on YouTube.
Buried.
Buried.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you win. If he doesn't win strong, then people will say he was buried. If he's not being used properly, they're going to say he was buried. If he's not main eventing, which he will not be main eventing this pay-per-view on Sunday night, the fans are going to say he's buried. The fact of the matter is Daniel Bryan is not the main event.
But what does the term buried mean?
It can be many
the explanation that's been sought.
it's used many different ways. There isn't just one
Primary use. What is a true burial? Give us an example.
made to look poorly.
Made to look
Yeah.
poorly. So
Yeah.
not necessarily being in the main event, but still defending your championship, as Daniel Bryan will likely do on Sunday, does not mean he's buried.
Yeah, they make him look bad.
Being put in a bad position on the card, does that bury you?
It depends on who you're working with.
Depends on who's in the match and where the match is
Right.
and the ultimate outcome of the
Yes.
match. So it's a very deep definition of the term buried, but hopefully we were able to share with you a little bit more insight as to what it means. Next comment comes from Thunder Knight 19. I think he's a Thundercat too. Oh!
Sure. What is that?
Never mind, Mumra. Concerning David
Mumra?
Hero's DWHS, while it seems WWE is having the Shield take the top spot in the company, it's possible the fans may not accept it. They did not accept Batista winning the Royal Rumble or over Daniel Bryan, or Sheamus besting Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28. It appears whenever WWE attempts to knock Daniel Bryan down, the fans make sure it never happens.
That's not true. Daniel Bryan got killed by Kane the last 2 weeks.
Killed or kilt?
Well, no, he didn't wear a kilt. He was killed by Kane. I didn't see any more Daniel Bryan signs in the audience or Daniel Bryan T-shirts on, in the front row. I think that the ship has passed on Daniel Bryan.
What?
Yeah,
What are you saying?
he's not the most popular guy in the company right now.
Who is?
I think the Shield is.
Really?
Absolutely.
So,
Or even Bray Wyatt could be number 2. Daniel Bryan's number 3 at best.
I'm going to leave that sleeping dog lie, if you will.
I'm not wrong.
And finally, J-Mac says, actually, we just had that one, didn't we?
Well, it was so good
Why
you got to
put
ask
them
it
in here
twice.
So nice we'll hear it twice. Anyways, those are our comments from YouTube this week, both centered around Daniel Bryan, and thank you very much for those. Now, folks, of course, you know we are on Twitter, at PWR Show on Twitter, and each week on Twitter, we give you the chance to tell us whether you loved or hated one of the week's big moments in wrestling. And this week, we draw a fine line between love and hate, looking back at the opening segment of WWE Raw, which of course featured John Cena and the Wyatts and a choir of children.
That was awkward.
That segment on Raw created a lot of buzz and was certainly unique. And here are the results of our poll on Twitter. An overwhelming 89% of you loved that segment, while only 11% hated it. As a matter of fact, at Adam Rank on Twitter said that he hated it and that Cena's no-sell later was much worse, while at WF Tweet said, all day, #endorsed. We'll be polling you again next week, so be sure to follow PWR Show at PWR Show on Twitter so your voice can be heard. We also received some questions from you on Twitter, so let's take a look at those now. At Score Radio Net asks, do you see Sting versus Undertaker ever happening?
Not anymore. I honestly believe The Undertaker's done. I don't think he has another match left in him.
He didn't have this past match left in him.
No, I think Brock Lesnar buried the dead man.
At K.Y. Leonardo says, do you think Cena and Bray should main event on Sunday? Meaning being the top match.
It very well could be. I don't see it happening. I think it'll be Evolution against the Shield. We'll close the show because they've invested the most into that. But Bray Wyatt and John Cena have a lot of momentum going forward.
Keep those tweets coming and be sure to use the hashtag PWRTV in your comments. We'll be right back.
Visit our friends over at ProWrestlingTees.com for the latest and greatest wrestling t-shirts at awesome prices. You can also find the official PWR shop where you can get the all-new Nelson Family or the Super Friends shirt as well. ProWrestlingTees.com is your home on the web for the most unique and entertaining wrestling tees. It's time for the 2014 PWR Fantasy Draft. Let's get right to the rules. There will be 2 teams in the draft, the Super Friends led by David Hero and the Nelson family led by 2-time draft winner Damian Nelson. Each team will draft 10 talents over 10 rounds. Rounds 2 through 7 will occur tomorrow on Primetime TV, and the final rounds will take place Sunday on Twitter, and each team must select a rookie in one of the rounds. There have been some changes in the scoring for 2014, and more points will be made available for losing a match, winning Money in the Bank, and bonus points will be applied for being in a specialty match. Points can only be scored on pay-per-view events and pay-per-view pre-shows. So there are the rules, and now let's go to the desk for round 1 of the 2014 PWR Draft.
to put closure to buried.
Buried.
The best example is when you put a yellow Post-it note over somebody's face. That's to bury somebody.
So not being seen.
Or heard ever again. Yes.
Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And earlier you referred to a PWR screw job. The fact that this here gimmick only has one side with the logo on it,
and
I had
buy stuff at a
tails.
discount. You know, if you would have paid full price, you probably would have got 3 more logos.
You have round 1 in the draft. You get the very first draft pick, David Hero. And you know what? I'm not the least bit concerned because as I look here at your blank piece of paper, you have no idea who you're picking in the draft.
Well,
I want to hear it right now, ladies and gentlemen. The 2014 PWR Draft kicks off right here, right now, with David Hero's very first pick in round 1.
With the first pick in the Pro Wrestling Report 2014 draft, the Super Friends select Daniel Bryan.
What?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes.
Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Why not?
impressive.
It is impressive. I got to go with the champ to start. I mean, he might not be champ much longer, but I'm going to go with him for right now.
Well, you heard Linda earlier tell us, or just a little while ago, tell us about the rules and the scoring and all that. So,
yeah, I know. This is another screw job thing because, you know, you obviously had time to redo the scoring system and not tell me about it until just now. So my entire strategy is now thrown out the window. But you're prepared for it.
I'm sorry about the additional bonus point opportunities. I'm sorry about the increase in points for Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble win. I'm sorry about the fact that you now get points for losing a match on a pay-per-view. I'm sorry that you have more chances to get points
it's
because your people are losers.
Apologize. My people, what does that mean?
the Mighty Mouse Club team.
Whoa, define my people.
The Mighty Mouse Club team, the people on your draft, on your team.
Okay.
Your people.
You're not being anti-Semitic.
You're not at all. No, I'm being an anti-dentite.
Okay. Huh?
All right, well, round 1, it's my turn, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, who am I going to pick first here in the draft? Can you whisper who the special guest moderator is tomorrow for the draft?
No.
Does Linda know? Linda?
Of course Linda knows.
Oh, does she?
She's a wrestling insider.
She didn't even tell me last night.
No? What? Pillow talk? She's not going to give it up
Ladies
there.
and gentlemen, my number 1 pick in the 2014 PWR Draft is John Cena.
Oh, really? That's shocking.
It's all about winning.
Just take the number 1 guy in the company.
Yeah, sure did. Because you didn't. So thank you.
He's breaking down. He's getting older. He's injury prone.
So you're trying to make light of his impact.
The young studs.
Fine. Daniel Bryan versus Cena. Great. Super.
Yeah.
Cena will score me many more points in the draft than you will get.
Okay.
That's round 1, folks. That one picks Daniel Bryan. I have taken John Cena in round 1. Tomorrow on primetime, rounds 2 through 7 occur on the draft. And then rounds 8, 9, and 10 will occur on Twitter on Extreme Rules Sunday. And you know, in one round, David Hero, one of our selections has to be a rookie pick. And from those rookies, here are the list. People who are freshly into WWE.
Oh, you're going to give me some hints? I'm going to write this down.
Adam Rose, Alexander Rusev, Paige, or Bo Dallas. One of those 4 people we have to pick from as our rookie pick. Yeah.
There's more than just those.
Rookies new to television,
I could pick
new
Lana.
to pay-per-view.
I would love to pick Lana.
Okay, how many points in matches is she going to be at?
She'll get
Fine, great.
points.
Pick Lana. While you're at it, pick JBL. While you're at it, pick Mike Chioda.
I could also pick, who's Marcelo Rodriguez?
Let's find out who this week's winner of a free t-shirt from ProWrestlingTees.com is, and we'll see you tomorrow for primetime Saturday night.
Hey, I'm so excited Damian picked John Cena for his team. Congratulations to this week's winner of a free wrestling tee from ProWrestlingTees.com. Twitter follower Adam Rank. Thanks, Adam, for your comments, and we look forward to giving away another tee next week. But before that, we have Primetime TV tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central, where we bring you the next rounds of the PWR Draft, be the booker for WWE Extreme Rules, and details on an investigation that has been launched against WWE. Thanks for tuning in to Feedback Friday, brought to you by ProWrestlingTees.com.